Hello everybody, GrayStillPlays, and we're here with the newest No Man's Sky trailer, the Survive trailer, and probably one of the ones after the Trade trailer that I was looking forward to the most. This trailer is a good trailer. Be worried about one thing though. If you are prone to epileptic seizures and you watch this trailer at normal speed, you may have one. There is a lot of quick flashing scenes. It's almost like watching Saw 7 or something flashbacks. But there is a lot of cool information that's in it. Let's start and take a look at this particular trailer and see what sort of cool little tidbits that we can find. There are some really neat things here. As always, we're treated to a lovely beginning opening shot of Baleri 5. It's got to work itself in there somewhere. And then right afterward, we have a planet where the two things you have to worry about are apparently the toxic environment and, I don't know, getting Shoryuken or something. We have Rio Feltona. -20 Celsius degree atmosphere, and also home to floating rocks and a lot of like palm tree looking things and some ferns. We also see something kind of unusual. I don't know if I've ever caught this before. Let me know if you guys have ever remember seeing this. If you notice on the very bottom of the screen, kind of the mid bottom, there is a white World of Warcraft style question mark with a blue outline. I'm curious if those are points of interest that we will be able to visit to just kind of like see different things and sights and stuff. This floating rock to the left also kind of, I think it's just the shadowing of the rock itself. But without that shadowing, it almost looked like water was flowing over the side of the rock. I thought that would have been awesome. Just otherwise, a very dusty or foggy atmosphere. Kind of cool to look at. And then do note, while we have a planet in the background, or at least I assume that's some sort of planet, we also have what appears to be another floating rock slowly sweeping into the shot on the right-hand side of the screen. Also, we just barely get to catch a little glimpse of our favorite walking squid crab thing at the bottom middle there. Right here in this hostile environments clip, we're gonna start seeing these little tips here. Well, not really tool tips, they're just kind of like little things that show us, I think, what we're doing as a character. You notice on the bottom right there, there's that little symbol. I'm 99% sure that's for the jetpack. And we start seeing sprint symbols as well. They look like little running men. I can't ever really remember seeing those before, so I think that that is pretty new and exciting as well. You also have to stop this clip at just the right time to get the opportunity to see the planet name on this one, and this is gonna be Erlikolbar Natid. And we're going to be seeing this planet again in the future. Interesting plant life, what looks like giant bulb-like plants of some sort. And then those little kind of spindly palm trees we seem to get a lot of in a lot of these different planets right now. Alright, so here we are on Kai Utsai Lanyam 9. And first off, yes, that does look like a kind of very Earth-like planet in the background. But what's really cool is the size of this cliff face. I feel like these planets that we're seeing now have a lot more topography and just a lot more varied landscape than kind of what we've seen. Also, really interesting are these spore-like, fungus-like things growing here. Really weird. Got these, like, tendrils or something coming out of them, almost like octopus fungus plants. Had to throw some more Baleri 5 there, and then, oh, here we are back on Erlikolbar Natid. Obviously, the names of these planets aren't getting any easier at all. And we've got some, I don't know, space caribou hanging around here. But besides that, we also have a look at what this climate is like. 225 degrees Celsius. It appears that we're using our jetpack one more time. And besides that, we have another look at some really deep ridges and more just like bulb-like plants and a very varied landscape here that I'm kind of enjoying. Kind of a plant there sticking out on the side on the middle left-hand bit of the screen, if you notice, just a really odd angled plant jutting out. We have a moment here to look at a facility. It's like almost like a communications facility. It looks like, look at that giant dish there right in the middle. What appears to be a floating island in the back, and then some sort of, I don't know, there's something up there in the top left. Some thing. It almost looks like a sentinel kind of hanging around up there or something. Right here, we've got more floating rock formations. Man, you're getting your floating rock formations fill in this video, along with some additional plant life and some more of those floating little leaves and stuff that kind of twirl around. Although here, it almost looks more like floating feathers or something, just kind of hanging out there in the upper part of the screen. All right, so right here, we're getting to see a lot again. We're on Imniqui Unzenta, interesting name for a planet. We've got this big old ship here in front of us, the Oyakakyush S-22, again, still using the S in the name. Some people have mentioned maybe it means S for Starship. That's probably a pretty good bet. Part of me thought maybe it was S for Science or S. Some people say maybe S for Series. We get to see in the back again another, you know, question mark looking point of interest, maybe thing on our radar HUD there. And what's interesting is it looks like it is telling us how long until we reach our destination. Maybe like when we're moving toward the destination, it's giving us an idea. It says you'll arrive in 03 seconds. And as the player does grow closer and closer to that destination, that countdown does continue to tick down. Also, something I had to mention just because I thought it was cool. The little details on the ship are kind of nice. If you play the clip at normal speed, you get to see the turbines on the engine spinning and rotating, like, you know, the engine is actually functioning, so that's kind of cool. All right, right here, this is a scene that's drawing a lot of interest, and I do like this scene. There's a lot to this scene that really needs to be better understood when you play it, though. The first thing about this scene is, yes, it is an awesome, like, sandstorm going on. You can hear that there is a lot of wind and such. And one of the things that I think is great is how the wind does cause sway in the various plant life. I'm really happy that the plant life does actually have interaction with the atmosphere kind of as it moves like that, as those winds are whipping around. More Bellari 5, can you believe it? And here we are heading into another Korvax facility. We get to see, you'll notice that the temperature does change when he gets inside. It starts out at like -70 degrees Celsius and goes up from there. We get to see this planet, Teuga Dilutsu, and you can see the little running man there on the bottom right-hand side of the screen, indicating that we are sprinting. So that's kind of nice that there's just kind of a different indicator of like the mobility of what's happening with your character. The UI is looking pretty good. I really like the various overhauls that they've done so far with the UI. Right here, you gotta stop this scene like right on the money in order to actually see this. I was hoping that there would be some kind of cool plant name for this, but unfortunately it's just called Flora. It does say Interact Protection. We're over here on, oh boy, here we go, guys. Oh, okay, let me try again. Gatungakungas, which is a planet here. It says Storm Extreme. Awesome. I like the fact that now we're finally getting to see a lot of weather effects, and something like a storm is exactly what I wanted to see. So many people were like, oh, are there hurricanes? You know, are there tornadoes? Are there blizzards? So getting to see some storm interaction, some weather interaction is awesome. Got some, like, almost a forest of freaky fern-like plants in the back there, along with just a jutting rock structure. And you can see the temperature here is none too pleasant, to say the least. We also get to see when the clip plays through those different plants and stuff swaying in that heavy, heavy breeze. Right over here, you get your floating rock smorgasbord. I don't know how you guys feel about the floating rocks. I know some people were like, oh, it defies the laws of physics too much. I kind of like the floating rocks. I like looking at a scene. Okay, so like this scene right here. I like looking at this scene and feeling like I'm looking at a sci-fi painting. That's what I like about No Man's Sky when it comes to the artwork. I like looking at it and not having to worry about, does this conform to reality? I like just looking at it and feeling that I am in an alien place where everything that I know is just violated relentlessly by the oddities that are here. You get to see there's some flying creatures over here. We got this, you know, this ship that's just landed on one of these floating rocks overlooking the rest of this terrain. Just a really cool place to grab a good view and a cool place to park your ship. We've got these umbrella-like plant lives along with really fat-looking candy cane plant life flora things over here. And now this little guy sneaks out from behind the crystal here. You gotta watch out for him. That's right, folks. We've got the rare quadra-horned turkeylope coming out here. It almost looks like a cross between an emu and, like, I don't know, a demonic cow or something. Either way, he's not something to be trifled with. He's a deadly life form. Love this shot right here. Finally getting to see another water shot. I think this is the only one in the entire trailer, so I gotta just feel the power as much as possible. But you got our, I don't know, short-billed barracuda fin back there in the background. Looks like some sort of cross between an angry barracuda with half of his nose missing and a dolphin. Lot of kind of structures in this underwater environment, and that's what I like about it. I love this giant cylindrical curved structure going down to the bottom of the ocean floor here. Got some coral almost life going on, a couple of seaweed looking things, a couple of rock formations. Very good. Like this shot a lot. All right, so right here, like, you know, the obvious thing is probably the little red, you know, diamonds floating there, or maybe the crash in the background, or yeah, probably even the, I don't know, flying kite jellyfish that we got going around. But this ice structure I just thought was pretty neat. It's just like a curved ice structure. It looks more like ice than anything that we've seen. We've seen a lot of snow, but not so much like ice looking ice. You know, we get to see crystals every once in a while and things of that nature, but this looks more like a refractive icy surface, and I thought that was pretty cool. So here we are on Imniki Uzenta, over here with this Korvax distress beacon. We're able to interact with the debris. That's kind of nice. Again, those little tooltips are coming up now and again about hazard protection and seeking shelter from radiation or restoring your hazard protection. Got a crashed ship in the background. Is that some sort of, I don't know what that is way at the top there. If that's some sort of rock structure, it almost looks like a monolith maybe, but I'm not really sure about that. Also, you have to keep your eye on the clip and watch it as it plays through when you see this for yourself. But at the very top there, right by our compass, there is something walking there. It's a little bit blurred due to all the, like, the smoke and the debris flying around, the fact that we're probably taking a crap ton of radiation damage in this shot. But it looks almost like a Tyrannosaurus Rex stomping around. It does walk and move though. Very interesting. Back here on Raya Fotona, we've got this, it looks like a save beacon in the back of, I don't know, some sort of mobile home park on an alien planet. I haven't really seen an alcove this small before with one of these save areas, so that was kind of new and exciting. Real big structures looming there in the background as well, like really big rock structures. Kind of curious what that would look like if this shot panned back. Okay, so this shot right here on edge, oh man. All right, okay, hold on. I'm gonna really wind up for this one. Edrijan Awa Casdo. That was terrible. This shot here pans in really fast, showing us the binoculars. But if you keep it on the very first shot here, you get to see a lot of this landscape. All these cut-throughs and valleys and cliff faces and stuff like that. Along with these, like, almost pocked-looking jellyfish on land things. They're not moving, so I'm assuming this is just plant life, but it is very cool looking plant life that we have on this particular planet. So here, beautiful planet, pretty Earth-like, normal looking, almost deciduous trees in the background, flying things in the sky, bunch of sentinels here. We get to see the drone sentinels. There's a quadrupedal sentinel over there that we're firing at. Got a little crash in the background, plenty of action in this shot. All right, so this shot right here, really weird stuff. We've got some, I don't know, growths out there that looks like Ursula from The Little Mermaid mated with some plant life. But something to note is that the two guns that were just shown in these shots here are different from one another. They do look pretty similar, but if you go back through the shots, they're different. And the little icons that are on this gun are slightly different as well. You notice you got little emblems down here besides the ammo count. We even have a little indicator on this side over here to the right. You got to be quick here as it goes through the inventory, but we get to see zinc, an oxide element that's uncommon. It mentions that it's a powerful element used to recharge defensive technologies and to create and maintain many components and devices. Found in yellow flowering vegetation and planetary flora. Kind of cool. We get to see that someone had mentioned, could you charge your equipment with any oxide elements? It's really looking that way just from seeing this zinc categorized as an oxide element along with what we've seen before, which is iron. And then right here, as Boz Battler is going to be recharging his exosuit with this iron, it mentions again it's an oxide element, but besides having to check out iron real quick just for that split second that the cursor is on it, when the iron goes away, we get to see another element that I can't remember ever seeing in the background there, which is platinum. Remember how before when I was saying that some shots just look like artwork? This is kind of one of those. This is one of those shots that's just so cool to me. We've got the natural looking cave opening right there on the left-hand side. We've got our little buddy, the little T-Rex looking buddy walking around there on the middle right area. We've got another almost like a carving out of the ground or the hill over on the side here on the right. And the ship is apparently like managed the landing on a little floating island, like the tiniest floating island you could possibly land on. There's so much in this scene. I think this scene is really cool. And look at how some of the plant life is creating like natural illumination. That's really neat too. So here we get to check out our buddy, the demonic buffalo, kind of stealing the show in this shot. But if you look over to the right, this is really freaky. Is it just me, or does that look like a giant brain just laying there in the landscape? It really does. It just looks like a massive, massive brain. Pretty barren area here when it comes to plant life and animal life, but we've got a nice crashed ship with a flag here. And then over here we have like these delicious donut looking ice sculptures almost. It looks almost like ice just because of the way it's melting into the ground, so to speak, if you look at the bottom there. And another dust storm. Very cool to see, again, more weather effects. I'm really enjoying those. And right here, as we're flying out for the end of the trailer, we get to see our pulse engine activated. Little fuel area there showing us how much fuel there is. And it does mention that we're now in the Utsuno S35. And that ends the trailer. A lot of awesome information, but man, it comes at you just super quick. It's like, take it. And I'm like, no, I can't press the pause button fast enough. But those are the No Man's Sky trailers as we've seen them so far. They're getting like shorter though. I appreciate the amount of information that was in this trailer. It just, and I know, I mean, the reality is I just want to see more of the game. I wish it was a little bit longer and the shots were a little bit longer so we could get to see a little bit more of the interaction of the plant life with the weather and the different types of weather and maybe a little bit of the underwater. Still though, very happy with this trailer. Definitely putting it above the fight trailer, but just below that explore trailer. Still love that one the most. As always though, guys, please, if you find anything additional that I missed, and there's always something, feel free to let me know in the comment section below. Share the timestamp for it as well so everyone can enjoy it. Hope you guys are enjoying the little breakdowns and closer looks of these trailers. I do have a lot of fun making them. Other than that, guys, stay foxy and much love.